was it 82?
83. 1983. In the spring.
Spring, yeah. Yeah, it was must have been April when we met.
I think that's
the end
right.
of April.
Yes.
Mother's Day weekend, right? It was, I remember. But it was like the 13th of May or something.
10th.
I was sitting with my friends. We were at Iowa State.
This is when you spied me before we
Yes, I was sitting with my friends and I had just sworn off men. When I looked up and clear across the cafeteria, there's this guy. And I'm like, oh, he looks like my kind of guy. He looks like my type. And then we started noticing that he had to be a grad student because he was only in our cafeteria on the weekends. And so we'd watch out the window and wait for him to come. We waited, and then we'd dash down to be in the cafeteria at the same time. And I don't remember the why and wherefore, but my friend Cindy and I decided to follow him. And follow him we did. But yeah, we followed you and tried to be keep at a distance. And at one point, I know we ducked behind a bush, and then saw that you were playing frisbee with people out on the lawn of what was it?
Buchanan
Hall. And we went over there and pretended that we were taking, I pretended I was taking pictures of her and stuff, and I was really taking pictures of you. I was 19.
A very mature 19.
And then somehow it dawned on us that maybe we weren't quite as, sly and surreptitious as we thought. And then I was just mortified that he'd seen us, and I had to apologize, but we still didn't know who he was. And we hung around in the lobby of Buchanan Hall and trying to figure out how we were going to figure out who you were. And Nimal came in, and we had met him through, what was the guy from Mexico's name?
Sergio Torreblanca.
Yeah. Anyway, so we described you to Nimal. There's this guy, he's tall, he's got brown hair and a mustache and glasses. Nimal said, "Oh, Mike, he's my roommate." And then it took me another hour and a half to work up the courage, because I felt like I needed to apologize. And to work up the courage to finally go knock on the door. And when I did, you answered the door, and I stammered out that I was sorry for having followed you. I don't even remember what I said. I just remember I was as red as a beet and hot, and and I thought, my world had ended. Not only, had I made a complete and utter fool of myself, but,
And then you left, and Nimal said, "She really likes you." And so I stuck my head out of the door and called after you. So were you embarrassed, or are you embarrassed or something?
That's
of course,
right.
Then you just sort of did that, and
oh my God,
hightailed it down the hall back to the elevator. And then, Nimal and I started talking. Who are you? He knew. Your name was Karen, and that you worked for the Daily. He had met you at an international student thing that he remembered. So he knew your name, and then and I found your last name because he knew you were Karen. I don't think he knew your last name.
You found my byline or something.
And then, so I tracked you down and asked you out on a date.
And I could have died. I could have just died. I couldn't believe that he called me. And I think I said, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God," for an hour and a half afterward.
Well, and then what I asked her to do, if she wanted to go for a walk.
Yes.
That was our date.
It wasn't, "Do you want to go to a movie?" or anything like that. It was to go for a walk, and I thought I'd died and gone to heaven, this man that, oh my word.
It just seemed like a nice way to get to know somebody, and wanted to get to know this young woman.
Strange thing.
No, I didn't say that. But you can talk, and it was nice. I mean, it was springtime.
And didn't we then end up in the Arboretum?
I think so.
Yeah, so I was just taken. It was meant to be, I think.
A promise is a promise.
Even though we had our breakup. At the end of the summer, I remember I had asked him why he loved me. And I think I was putting too much pressure on him. And I don't remember if you said at that something that you weren't sure that you did or something like that. Anyway, we went out and he told me that he wanted to see other people too. And I don't know where I got the fortitude. I really don't. To say that the way I felt about him, I couldn't handle that. That my feelings were too strong, and I couldn't handle knowing he was going out with other people, so we'd have to stop seeing each other. And then I went home and pretty much 3 months straight listened to all the sad songs. Janis Ian, oh my God, I was devastatingly heartbroken. And every time I just get to the point where I thought, okay, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. He'd call me. He'd call. Because, it wasn't an angry split, but he'd call me. And I just couldn't handle that because it would just flip me right back down into the depths of despair. And then by happenstance, I was walking to the Daily, and you were on your way to the Ag Building. We saw each other, and this was like right before Thanksgiving. And I was going to tell him I couldn't take it anymore. He had to stop calling me. But instead,
I said maybe we should try this again.
And we did. And we were in a much better place. The relationship was kind of on more of an equal footing. Because it was the difference between infatuation on my part and really, infatuation is different from a relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, they can start that way, but it couldn't have continued that way.
I think initially maybe we had different expectations.
I think when we first were together, I didn't feel secure. I felt like it was precarious. Like if I said the wrong thing or did the wrong thing, I would lose him. Or it would just all evaporate.
They're very likely, I was being overly cautious about her feelings.
And you're just taken by the idea and the experience, but not in a sustainable way.
Or not really trusting enough to share my feelings.
I don't think I felt that I could truly be myself for fear that I would ruin it.
Those are things that are important to have a successful relationship. And initially, I don't know that those things were there.
I mean, that's not a relationship. That's trying to sustain this idea, this, maybe fair. I wouldn't call it a fairy tale, but I guess in a way, it was a little bit like that.
Well, you spend some time reflecting, but when you come back and you're going to try to see if it can be successful, a long-term commitment, you have to bring more trust and better communication, and you have to work at that.
I don't know, I gained some personal strength about how I needed to approach this relationship.
When we came back together, I was more ready to work at that.
And so it became a more on the same level as each other relationship.
Yeah. Anyway, we're pretty lucky because we've been married for almost 31 years now. And I wouldn't have it any other way.